If you're thinking about adding window tint to your vehicle, there's a few things that you should consider and keep in mind before going into a shop and making a final decision. One of those things is going to be the actual material that gets used on your vehicle, the percentage that you choose, so this will be the darkness of the film, what windows can be tinted, what can't be tinted, can you do windshields, and we're also going to cover some of the legalities of window tint, at least here in the state of Pennsylvania. The first thing that you're going to need to consider is the actual material that you're going to have put on your car. Now, most professional tint shops are going to have between 2 to 4 different options, and they're going to go in order from least expensive to most expensive: a dyed tint, a carbon tint, a single layer ceramic tint, or a dual layer ceramic tint. The most affordable and entry level at most shops is going to be a dyed window film. This is mainly just for looks, and it's not going to provide a ton of heat rejection, but it still looks great. Typically, this film lasts anywhere from 2 to 5 years, depending on where your vehicle is parked or stored. If it sits out in the sun, it's going to fade a lot faster. This is where you're going to start to see purple window tint. You see some older vehicles with the back windows, or even the full vehicles. They turn purple. That's from a dyed window tint. The next option you're going to have is carbon and ceramic films. Now, this is where you're going to start getting into lifetime warranted films, as well as heat rejection. So with the carbon film, it has a carbon layer built into it, and this is going to allow it to not fade like a traditional dyed film will. Carbon does have a lifetime warranty, so it'll stay that really nice black color for an extended period of time. Now, a side note, here at Precision Detailers, we do not carry any dyed film. Our baseline film is going to be the carbon. Now, before we go any further, I want to give you guys some context as to the difference of UV rays as well as infrared rays. So UV rays are ultraviolet rays. That's what's going to dry out and potentially crack the leather, the dashboard, the plastics, the rubber seals on the interior of the vehicle. IR, on the other hand, stands for infrared. This is going to be the actual heat that you feel on the side of your arm, the side of your face, that comes through the window from the sun. So if you're looking to reject a lot of infrared, that's where you're going to be looking into the ceramic films. Across the board, all films, even dyed, reject 99% of UV. With that being said, carbon tint is going to be a really good option if you're only looking for aesthetics and privacy. If you're not too concerned with heat rejection, it's a great option to go with, and it's going to give you the long-term durability, and it's not going to fade on you. And going into the films that everyone loves, it's going to be the ceramic film. This is where you start getting into the higher heat rejection numbers. And the first option is going to be a single layer ceramic. You're going to get about 70 to 80% of IR rejection and 99% UV rejection. This is going to be a lifetime warranted film as well, and it's a great middle of the road option. Now, jumping up from a single layer ceramic film to a dual layer, this is where you're going to get really high heat rejection. This is going to be between 95 and 98% of infrared rejection. So this is going to cut out the most amount of heat out of any films that we carry and that most other shops will offer you. If you're the type of person that just cannot stand any heat coming through your glass, that's going to be the option that you're probably going to want to go with. Now, it's one thing to hear all these numbers and different percentages, but until you actually feel it in person, you're not going to be able to get a good understanding of the difference between each of these films that we carry. So behind me over here, we have a heat lamp with all of our different tints on it, and this is going to allow you to put your hand in front of it and actually feel the difference that each of these films offer as far as heat rejection. This is a solar power meter, and it's going to measure the solar energy that comes through the glass. So this here is an untinted window or a factory tinted window. This is a carbon window film, so you can see it reduces that solar energy in half. This is a single layer ceramic film, cuts that even in half. And this is a dual layer ceramic film, and it cuts that in half again. So now that you know the difference between the options and quality of films that you can get, you have to choose a percentage. This is often referred to as VLT, or visible light transmitted, and the numbers are going to dictate the amount of light that comes through the tint. For example, a 5% tint is going to allow 5% of light to come through, whereas a 70% tint is going to allow 70% of light to come through. If you drive a pickup truck or an SUV, you're going to notice that those back windows are much darker than the fronts. That's because from the factory, it's usually a 20% privacy glass that is installed on the back windshields as well as the 2 roll downs in the back. So if you wanted to match the front windows, you'd probably go with a 20% option on most vehicles. Can a front windshield be tinted? It absolutely can be, and we do them all the time. It's the biggest piece of glass in your vehicle, and it's going to let the most amount of sun, heat, and UV in. This is often done in a 70% film, so it's an extremely clear option, and it doesn't add very much darkness at all to the windshield, so it's really not going to affect your visibility in driving, especially at nighttime. And the question everyone wants the answer to, is it legal to tint your windows? Yes and no. Laws for window tint are going to vary state by state, so make sure you do your due diligence and check your state's laws. Here in Pennsylvania, I will say window tint is legal on pickup trucks and SUVs on the back doors back. So you can have those as dark as you want them to be, but the front two windows cannot be any darker than 70% according to the law. Now on a sedan, the laws are a little bit different than a pickup truck or an SUV. A sedan cannot have any windows, whether it be the back roll downs or your rear windshield, tinted past a 70% VLT. So from the factory, how you get it is the legal limit. Technically, you're not allowed to add any tint to it, but people still do it. If you have any other questions about window tint, we did include a contact us form down below in the description. You can fill that out and we will give you a call. And if you are looking to have window tint installed in your vehicle, we hope to see you here at Precision Detailers. Thanks for watching.